Welcome to ToneTalks. Welcome to ToneTalks. Welcome to ToneTalks. How's everybody doing today? This is Antonio Moore coming to you from ToneTalks. I wanted to have a brief discussion about an article that just came out today from thehill.com where they went around and questioned senators, and the general consensus is that Democratic senators want the reparations discussion to go away. And inside of that, I need Black America to understand what they really saying is that they need Black America to go ahead and eat this slavery. For too long, Black families across this nation have lived in a second-class status, not knowing that the reality of wealth is calcifying all around you, that they're going to gut the programs and they're going to leave you with this slavery. Come on. You know, when I look at this thing, I can't help but start off again, tell y'all that the middle Black family across America is worth $1,700 without depreciating assets. Understand that in Boston, middle Black families worth $8 liquid. In Miami, it's $11 liquid. In LA, it's $200 liquid. None of that is enough. None of that is enough, not just for not college, but enough to survive in an America that's decided that you got to survive on lineage. They saying you got to have wealth in your accounts, but then they saying that your family lineage don't count for an account. I think for me, when I start looking at things like Democrats saying that, they got problems with us. See, when I came up with ADOS with Yvette Carnell, one of the things I wanted to do was make sure that a nation of Black folks, that a nation in America understood that we had a lineage and a legacy here in this country, and we not here to be ran over. And for me, I'm starting to see that they don't know how to deal with us. And their answer is going to be that you got to eat this slavery. And for none of us, that's going to work. For me, I'm starting to see that they willing to say anything to us just to get us off of their back. Oh, we going to give you HR 40. That's a study where we can just study it all. But it's nothing in HR 40. It don't, look, let's talk about it. For those people that say, what is reparations? Please go to ADOS101.com. On it, I do a roadmap to reparations. On it, I do a whole evaluation of the way it should look, who it should target. It's a multi-trillion-dollar package over several years that goes to the American descendants of slavery. Don't tell me that it's going to be hard for an ADOS person to connect themselves to slavery, because most ADOS people in America can connect themselves to multiple slaves quite easily. In addition, the government would have to create a database. The government would have to use its same tools that it can do to make drones and everything else to create a very functional database for people to be able to connect to their lineage that the government codified and stole from them when they made slavery legal. This is where we're at. We're in a place where it's not till 2053 that we have zero wealth as predicted by some of the studies. No, it's right now. All across America right now, Black folks cannot survive without an infusion of capital, without support by government, without protections by government, so that things like Uber can't take advantage of Black folks that are all across this country. Let's talk about it. So today they come out with this article. Feinstein is in it. I'm going to read her quote in a second. Problematic. And what they say is that the Senate Democrats want us to just go away with this reparations discussion. I'm not going away. And for me, I think Black America has to understand one of the great gifts of this generation is going to be ADOS. Because what it does is it allows us to understand that while we have 42 million Blacks, probably 33 to 35 million are American descendants of slavery. Either half or full, most full. And I'm not saying that they don't have some white generally back in their blood some time ago, but they experienced the full brunt impact of being casted as Black and being ADOS in America. That's a fundamentally different cost. So I say this to you as somebody whose mama is from Mississippi and daddy from Alabama. I say this to you as somebody who doesn't know either grandfather. And the cost of this life, no matter what you do, from law school on, from UCLA, none of it matters if you don't have wealth. And they're trying to tell us the main line, the main pipeline of us to have wealth, we shouldn't worry about that. While at the same time, not just telling us that immigrants are the same as us, they're telling us that DACA recipients are the same as us. None of it makes sense. So you can fight for DACA recipients while telling us that slavery was a long time ago. I'm not having it. I'm not here to berate any immigrant. That's not what this video is about. But it is to tell you that reparations requires an awareness where you understand your lineage and where it places you in the country that your family built. Where you've been made the actual currency that undergirded the country. And I think for a lot of us, that's hard to deal with. Let's read Senator Feinstein's quote that's in the articles. She says, "I understand why. I also understand the wound that it opens and the trials and tribulations it's going to bring about. Some things are better left alone." And I think that's one of those things. Come on. You can't understand American slavery and say that. You don't understand. This woman should never have made that comment. It is disrespectful at the most base level. This is not a wound that we're opening. It is an open wound that we live in. I'm saying this to you because we got to get real about what this woman just said. She said let's make sure that we get her quote right, because it's a lot of stuff that she talking that don't make sense. She says some things are better left alone. That's her answer to hundreds of years of slavery followed by Jim Crow. This is a Democrat. And for me, I'm just wanted to come to you because you have Feinstein along with other Democrats that believe this nonsense. But then we want to talk about Mitch McConnell separately. And I think Mitch McConnell, what he said is plainly ignorant. Mitch McConnell told us that Obama was our reparations. Mitch McConnell would never say that his wife, his Asian wife, was reparations for his Chinese wife, as I believe it, was reparations for the Japanese. How? How is appointing somebody to an office reparations for a loss by a group of people? In addition, how is somebody Chinese reparations for somebody that's Japanese? Obama was Kenyan and white. How is he reparations for ADOS and did no politics for us? He did more for white folks. Again, Obama created a new class of white millionaires. We went from 4.5 millionaires in 2012 to about like 11 or 10 million in 2015, largely through retirement accounts and because of quantitative easing under Obama. He gifted white folks a new status. Obama gave gay rights activists the marriage. And I'm not saying I'm against these things. Obama gave DACA to the immigrants. What did he do for African Americans? Where is this gift where we take him on as reparations for our legacy of hundreds of years of slavery? The awfulness of Mitch McConnell to say that. But then again, we come back to Feinstein and we don't find much different. Feinstein said it's better left alone. We look over at Obama when Ta-Nehisi Coates interviewed him. My president was black. He said that immigrants shouldn't have to pay reparations. Nobody intends to make you whole. Everybody intends to leave you with this slavery. And then they're going to calcify the wealth so that the rich don't got to pay no taxes. I wanted to come to you today to tell you that for the Democrats to be saying that they wish we would stop talking about our debt that they owe us is one of the greatest problematic revelations that we've seen before an election in generations. Black folks, ADOS, are going to have to ask themselves, what are you going to do about it? Now, I'm not advocating necessarily to go Republican, but we need to be in these town halls. We need to be at these debates. We need to be in these emails. We need to be on these Twitters. We need to all be doing what ADOS people are doing. ADOS basically are asking everybody from Clyburn to Tulsi Gabbard, what are you going to do for Black America? I'm just doing this as a beacon, as a call out, that these people have decided that we're going to lose in this country. They've made decisions that gerrymandering, just like the Supreme Court decision that just came down. And I think Yvette Carnell's going to cover that in a quick hit. Gerrymandering is what we're going to have to live with. They're not going to protect us from that, the Supreme Court said today. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but I want to make sure that we all understand that wealth in this country is hugely unfair and it's going to get worse, and that Black folks can only answer this by a massive reparations program that repairs us and gives us what we're due by government. I'm not guessing. I just want to come to you real quick because what them senators said don't make no sense. This is Tone Talks. I'm out. Tone Talks brings to you the difference between black wealth and white wealth explained in less than 2 minutes. In America, we think that we understand race, wealth, and how the two intertwine. We believe in a sharing of wealth among the races that largely does not exist. The truth is, by the data, there are really hardly any blacks that are millionaires in the United States, and whites largely own almost all of the personal wealth in the country. According to demos.org, white America owns 90% of the national wealth, with the top 50% of white families holding 88% of all of America's personal wealth in their bank accounts. Despite having billionaire Oprah Winfrey, of the 14 million black families, less than a few 100,000 of these households are worth more than $1 million, and that number is shrinking. While at the same time, over 8.5 million white families are worth more than $1 million. Adding to this, almost all of the 540 American billionaires are white as well. In fact, according to a report by Credit Suisse, to be in the top 5% of black families, you only need to be worth $356,000, including your house. All while just the top few hundred white American families are worth more than all of black America combined. Subscribe to learn more at ToneTalks.org.